Hey everyone, this is Steve Weintraub with Collider, and I am thrilled to be talking to the two of you about Dalíland. I really want to start with congratulations on the movie. I know, I hate saying this, but so many people watching this will have not seen the movie yet. So how have you been telling your friends and family about the film? How do you want to tell the audience?
I mean, a lot of it, like how I tell my family, because they're excited for me, I start with, I say James, the character I play, is a kid thrown into a world a lot.
There we go. Yeah,
sorry, I'm not used to holding microphones. He's a kid who's curious and thrown into a world that he has no idea what will do with him, what it will do with him, what the world he's entering will do to him, and that's sort of the curiosity that he deals with, and then from there it's more so about Dalí and
the last years of this legendary marriage between Salvador Dalí and his wife Gala, played by the amazing Sir Ben Kingsley and the legendary German actress Barbara Sukowa, who really go toe to toe on this one.
Oh no, they're fantastic together. I'm curious because you hadn't really done anything before Dalíland, and so I'm curious, what was your motivation in casting? Because you were essentially, I'm not to an unknown.
Yeah,
you know?
Yes,
just graduated.
Well, yeah, he just graduated. I had cast someone else who had to drop out a week into pre-production, so I had to find a James. I had to find the young lead for the movie, and I thought I'm going to find somebody new. I'm going to go and look at all the websites, all the showcases of all the drama schools. And I did, and I looked at 60, and I started at A, and I got down to P, and I hadn't found anyone, not even a short list. And then I saw Chris's photo and said, "Oh my God, he looks like James. There's no way he's going to be any good. That would just be too lucky."
Right.
And then I watched some of them. I thought, "Oh, he is good." And then and so I asked my casting director, just track him down and get him to read. And this is so urgent. And he came in right, a couple days later. And my husband wrote the script, and we just watched it. It was like, that is James. We just couldn't believe it, that we were so lucky. And it worked out fantastically.
Mutually lucky.
I have to know what it's like for you the first day you're going to go to set to work with Sir Ben. This is a legend, literally a genius actor, and you're literally just starting, and you're going to set the next day. What the F are you doing the night before? How much are you in your head overthinking things?
I'm not sleeping. I'm spending most of the night in the fetal position, and the only reason I get to set is because somebody else drives me and tells me where to leave. It was terrifying, for sure. It was terrifying. But there's also the part of me that knows that this is what I want to be doing with my life, and is so grateful for the opportunity, and is in love with film, and in love with acting, and in love with their work. So, and there's no way to get out of it at that point. You wouldn't want to. But it was terrifying, I will say.
I was worried about Chris. At the same time, I thought all this fear that he's, all this pressure he's under, in a way he can use that. Because the whole part is about a young man who's, from Idaho, who's thrust into this sophisticated and quite dangerous, emotionally dangerous New York world. And he can use this discovery. Suddenly you're with, Sir Ben Kingsley in a scene, and just use it.
That was sort of the only opportunity, the only option, just to use it.
Just use it. And I think he did.
So on every shoot, there's always going to be a day that you are really, you circle it on the calendar because it's going to be really tough. And you had a short shoot, like a 5-week shoot. So for each of you, what was the day during the shoot that you had circled, really nervous about it or really excited about it?
That's a great question. Do you have something that comes to mind immediately? I could take a second.
Every day. I tell you, the party scenes were a nightmare because it was COVID, and it made it, a low budget film. You can't afford a lot of background people. COVID makes it even harder, because it's everybody has to be tested constantly. So we ended up with 40 extras for what is supposedly a big party scene. So when I watch those scenes, and I think they work, but I can see that we've used the same people kind of crossing, to fill the frame. So trying to do a big party in a big space with that few people.
I think the reason you pulled it off because it works for me, and I know what you were thinking, but because the room is not so large, that's the secret. Because I bought that this was totally legit. I bought this was a party.
Oh, good.
So, but if you had been in a huge ballroom, it would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Totally.
And also there were these big pillars, so you could kind of,
I totally bought
work
into
around it. Oh, good. So that was that. What about you?
It was all pretty equally terrifying. I mean, the whole thing was scary. And I look back and it's one of the most incredible moments of my life so far. But
that dinner when we were all stuck around
that's
the
what
table.
I was gonna say. That was one of the worst moments of my life. Because there's the scene where they're all having dinner, and it's sort of James's first dinner at in this world, and his boss takes him to this dinner, and Dalí's there, and all these interesting, beautiful, scary people are there, and I mean, this was my fault. I think I was a little hungover because we just wrapped Zach the night before, and I had a little too much fun. But I was panicking the entire day.
Oh,
I thought I was
really
going to die. It was hot in the room.
It was like 110 degrees. It was really hot.
The AC
because
had to be off for sound.
because we couldn't have any AC. We're all stuck in this little room, and it's hot lights, and we're boiling, and it's shooting around a table. What a friend of mine calls the rectangle of death.
Yeah.
You're trying to do coverage endlessly, and it was hell. That day was hell.
Yeah.
I think that so many people don't realize what it's really like on a movie set. Everyone thinks it's so glamorous, and it's so not.
It has its moments,
but it's a lot of waiting.
Right. Yeah, it's 14-hour days, and
it's and also to me it's just like having a sword over my head from the moment I get on set to the time I leave because of time. On a low budget movie, it's very interesting. And this was very, very cheap, is that, nothing can be wasted. And the one good thing is that you do have to actually move very fast, and it focuses everyone's attention, so nothing can be wasted. Everything has to move. And in some ways, in a way, good things can also come out of that. I mean, I think you'll find when as I'm sure you will do bigger budget things, it's great to have time to retake and reshoot, but some of that dynamic is lost.
I feel like there was something really beautiful about the moments you knew had to work.
Yeah.
Like when it was the end of the day, and your first idea is like, we have to go.
By the way, there was something that was incredible, which was it was the first week. We were filming in this really big old bank, actually, and we redone as a hospital for the hospital scenes for the very end of the movie, and the lights blew.
Yeah.
The entire lights blew in the building, so we couldn't have any lights. And so, we lost like 2 hours, and then, there are no lights. And so in a way it was beautiful. We had to shoot natural light, which I prefer. And then the beautiful scene between Chris and Sir Ben when he's giving him the book back.
Sure. And
then just this amazing performance that Sir Ben gave at the very end, and when the cameras, I don't want to give away the end of the movie, but as you've seen it. And I just let the camera, I'm not going to call cut.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let it keep going and going, because I think there's going to be a tear in his eye. And so for a really crazy long time, I let the camera go, keep moving in.
For both of you, what are you most excited for audiences to see in the film?
I think, just on a audience level, I think the performances are so fucking good.
Yeah, all of them. I mean, two amazing veteran actors, legendary actors, Sir Ben and Barbara, but also Chris is amazing. Andreja Pejic, Zach Nachbar-Seckel is
Rupert.
Fantastic. Oh, Rupert's so good.
Oh, I'm telling you, I really enjoyed this movie, and but I love learning about the behind the scenes of artists' lives, and anyway.
But I think to me it's like feast of acting, right?
Yeah.
And people will meet Chris Briney
to watch. Yeah.
I have to wrap with you guys only because, and I apologize because we have so many films and we have to close. But thank you so much for coming in, and really congratulations on being part of the Toronto Film Festival with Dalíland. And also, one last thing, I think the title is absolutely perfect, and I rarely say that because it is like a land, like Disneyland, except it's Dalíland.
Yes.
And everything that's going around with him, it's a perfect title.
Oh, thank you, because that's what we were thinking. It's like you go on a ride, and you're in this world, and then all of a sudden you're out of there. You know, it's like, what was that?
Yeah, no, completely. And it's like his life was like inside of a painting.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, listen, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thank you so much.